I will begin my brief contribution to this celebration of the 93rd anniversary of the birth of Velia Tormis by explaining why a professor at the City University of New York with no Estonian family heritage chose to spend more than 30 years of her life doing research and then writing about Tormis. In 1990, I was at a meeting of the International Federation for Choral Music. It began in Stockholm, where I heard the World Youth Choir perform Rauha Neemine. A few days later in Tallinn, I heard a concert devoted exclusively to the music of Tormis. I knew immediately that this was great music that was essentially unknown in the United States. What I could not have known at that time was the nature of the man who composed this music. Through the years that I worked with Tormis, I got to know his intelligence, his sense of humor, and the general high standards that he set for himself. I also had the pleasure of meeting and working with his wonderful wife, Leah, a scholar of Estonian theater and dance, and their son, Tõnu, a singer in Eesti Philharmonia Kammerkoor, as well as a first-rate professional photographer. Tormis's sense of humor can be seen in the words he had printed on his business cards at the time of his 70th birthday in the year 2000. Composer emeritus. Fortunately for us, he was not a 100% retired composer, but he did shift his attention to teaching. Many years earlier in his life, from 1962 to 1968, he had been a teacher of music theory and composition at the Tallinna Muusikakeskkoolis. Among his numerous composition students at that time were Lepo Sumera, Kuldar Singh, and Arvo Pärt. The teaching he did when he became, in his own words, composer emeritus, was at the Estonian Academy of Music and Theater, where he created the Regilaul Center, as well as at the Heino Eller Music School in Tartu and the Viljandi Culture Academy. How fitting it was in his older years for him to turn to younger generations of Estonian musicians and musicologists to pass on his knowledge of Estonian traditional music. Those who became music teachers would have a more profound knowledge of their own musical heritage to pass on to future generations of Estonians. And those who were becoming composers might incorporate elements of their ancient tradition into their own compositions, as Tormis had done for so many years. I have not spoken about his music because I am certain that all of you who are at Kõrveaia for this celebration know his music rather well. I'm very happy to join you in this celebration, and I hope you have fine weather.